friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming something that's so long overdue, and maybe once you guys hear what this is, you'll probably click off, but listen, okay? Rankings are juicy, they're fun, and I'm so mad at myself that I didn't get this done during the appropriate time frame. But if you guys are nosy, if you want to see me rank some palettes, then just keep watching. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is KARENHARRIS. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on YouTube. I've been ranking my palettes for like 2 years now. That's a big deal for me. This is a series. I like it. I'm going to create a 2023 playlist for my eyeshadow palette rankings, and this one won't go in it because it's that old. But anyway, if you guys like to see a bitch struggle and rank eyeshadow palettes, this is the place for you. I also like to film tan girl friendly makeup, especially eyeshadow palettes. I love playing with eyeshadow palettes. So if all of that sounds good to you, highly recommend subscribing, turning on that bell so you're notified every time I post, and without further blabbering, let's get into it. Okay, you guys, if you haven't clicked off yet, yes, we're going to be ranking my November eyeshadow palettes, and some of you guys are going to be like, oh my god, that was so last year. And yes, you're right, it is so last year, but you know what? The completionist in me cannot let it go. I cannot let go of the fact that I didn't get this done in December, which is what I typically do. I sit down and rank all the palettes I tried in the previous month, in the next month, and so I'm actually going to film my December rankings probably right after this so I can get it knocked off. But yeah, I'm a little bit behind on November. December was a whirlwind. Okay, some people were doing Vlogmas and uploading every day, and I was over here like, maybe I'll upload, maybe I won't. You guys will still love me either way, right? So anyway, I have my November palettes in front of me, and I have more than 11 palettes, but some of these palettes launched together. So we have a few just like ranked in one pile, but we've got 11 palettes to talk about. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, the first one, I don't think any of you guys are going to be surprised, but it is the Sigma Holiday palette. And listen, I love Sigma, but I also have a bit of a signature vibe when it comes to my eye makeup. And it's more of this and like less of this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a good neutral eyeshadow palette, but if I'm going to be playing with makeup, if I want to be like, I don't know, I just love playing with color. I love a neutral moment. I do, but there was just a lot of good colorful palettes in November, so this one just kind of fell to the bottom, but it's beautiful. Sigma has really good quality eyeshadows, so I'm not knocking this for that. It's just that it's a 7-pan palette. You know, what was I going to do? It is what it is. Somebody has to come in 11th place, okay? So in 10th place is another small palette. Listen, this palette was expensive. It's actually not a small neutral palette. It is the Sorcerer palette from Lisa Eldridge. She came out with like 6 or 7 of these, and this was the one with the most intriguing color story for me, so I went for it. It's nice. I don't regret buying it. I'm glad I got to try it. It's definitely one of the nicer quality palettes at that like luxury price point compared to like Tom Ford. I still don't get the hype with Tom Ford eyeshadows, but that is neither here nor there. I did have this in my Shop My Stash through the holidays. I used it a few times. It's nice, but the palettes I have are better, so that's why it's in the 10th spot. So in 9th place is another palette that I honestly just bought because I was able to pick it up during the Sephora sale. This is the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. I didn't hate the eye look I came up with this palette, but it's definitely not a love. Like, of my Natasha Denona palettes, this is not one I'm going to be fighting to reach for, just because the color story is very uninspiring to me. I was actually pleasantly surprised with her new mini pastel palette, so if you guys haven't seen that video, highly recommend checking it out. But yeah, it's alright, it's just not my favorite, so we're ranking it at number 9. Okay, in 8th place is a really cute palette. This was actually a Black Friday exclusive from a indie brand. This is the Hypernova palette from SugarDrizzle, and it's super duper cute. A really nice mix of like purples and neutrals, and I keep saying in videos that I feel like SugarDrizzle is like an up-and-coming indie brand. I feel like I've seen them make so much progress from their formulas to their packaging to their concepts. I really like seeing all the different things they've been doing. So yeah, this is in 8th place. Okay, the next palette is one from ColourPop, and I will say the packaging really helped bump this one up the ladder, and it's so cute. It's a fun, colorful palette. This one, actually seeing this now, makes me definitely not want their Winx palette, because I mean, it's like, you know, fun, colorful, pastel-y and colorful palette. So I already have that, so I don't need the Winx one. This palette is so nice, and I don't know what it was. I think my friend Angie did an eye look with this, and I was like, wait, I kind of want it. And then it came to Ulta, so I bought it. And it's a nice palette. I did actually end up using this, I think, in an Instagram video. And yeah, I had a lot of fun playing with it. And it's a nice palette. If you guys are looking at the Muppets palette, if you're Muppet fans, I definitely grew up on like more of a Sesame Street kind of kid, but I'm telling you, the packaging definitely gave this one a boost. Okay, in 6th place is a fun little palette from one of my favorite indie brands. It's the Daily Grind from Unearthly Cosmetics. This one's actually in my Shop My Stash, so if you guys want to see an eye look with this, I did post one on Instagram, and I did a look with this when it launched, and I think I had mentioned in my Shop My Stash that I was going to maybe do an eye look with this, or I'm going to do like a monthly eye look with my Shop My Stash products. But I wanted to give myself something which was neutral as well, but also has color, so I could go either way with this for Shop My Stash. It's a nice palette. I love the smaller pans, and I like this price point too for Unearthly, because I'm all for saving some money with a little less product, because I have so many eyeshadow palettes. Like, I'm never gonna pan an eyeshadow palette. It's just not gonna happen with my collection. But I think this was a fun take on a neutral palette with a little twist from Unearthly, which is totally their style. So, okay, in 5th place is the Adept Minka palette, and this is definitely a holiday palette that is so fabulous. I did do eye swatches with this palette, so I definitely would recommend you guys checking it out if you're interested. But this is so stunning, you guys. It's like such a party palette. It's such a great palette if you're really into glam makeup, or you know what, if you want to sparkle on a regular old Tuesday at the grocery store, this is the palette for you, my friend. So they did such a good job with this. It's so sparkly. Oh my gosh, let me just stop and let me just swap. Do you see this? Like, do you see how metallic these are? Oh my gosh. They're so beautiful. So that's all I have to say about it. It's gorgeous. I definitely wish that I had less eyeshadow palettes sometime, just because I have so many like extra special favorite eyeshadow palettes that I wish I could wear all the time. But it's just what it is. I don't know if you guys watched, Lauren May Beauty did a video on how she like kept track of all the eyeshadow palettes she used in a, like, not in a year, but in a period of time, and how it's just the nature of the job that you're not going to be able to use palettes more than a few times. And sometimes I wish that I didn't have a YouTube channel, just because then I would just buy like from my favorite brands, and then I could just wear these more. Or maybe that's not even true, because I like a lot of brand stuff and I'd probably still be in the same mess, except I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. So I guess scratch that idea. Either way, these are stunning. I just want to like rub my arm on my face. But if you guys have been wanting the Minka palette, I do have a code with Adept. It's just KHMAKEUP, and I will link all of these palettes in the description box. So if I have any codes or anything like that, I'll go ahead and throw them down below, make it a little bit easier for you guys. Okay, 4th place is another favorite indie brand. I think it's actually all indie brands, and I think the next, well, the top 5, the top 6, I have codes with all of these brands. Not the reason why they're ranking high, it's because I genuinely love them, but I had to give it to the Blend Bunny, man. This is the Blend Bunny All Done Up palette. And again, beautiful palette, beautiful mattes. The metallics definitely did me in this shade called Shine. Are you guys seeing this? I'm so excited. I mean, I already know Adept has like an Arrow palette coming. I can't wait to see what Blend Bunny has in store for 2023, but I hope we get more shades like this. I know they did a highlighter palette that has iridescence, but I'm ready for more sparkles. All the sparkles. Give me all the sparkles. It's such a great palette because I feel like they've done so many that are more like colorful makeup lover friendly, and I think this is like another great one for the neutral gals out there, but it also works for people like me that love to play with color. Their Dollhouse palette is still so good. So yeah, if you're more into neutrals, I recommend checking out the Dollhouse or this one. And this one's a really nice size too because it's a little bit smaller than their other palettes. And yeah, I just love it. And I love the lip products they launched with this too. Okay, you guys, the top three was a fight because they're all kind of in the same color stories. Not exactly the same, but similar. So in third place, we're going to have to give it to Glamlite and Scooby-Doo. Oh my goodness, Glamlite they just did the damn thing. Also, aren't these palettes like 20 bucks? Look at these metallics. They really killed it. I love that. I mean, I know they do a lot of like rainbows and like colorful palettes, but I really feel like they did something with the contrast here because we have some like mid-tone shades and we have some deepening up shades, which I felt like was what I was missing from Glamlite. I felt like they would do a lot of mid-tone palettes, and then if I wanted to deepen up a look, I didn't really have that option. And they were like, hold my mic, Karen, here it is. Look at these metallics. Like, what? Are you freaking kidding me? Like, I'm just in heaven. You guys know I love sparkly shadows. I mean, I like a good matte shade, don't get me wrong. But the sparkles, you know, they just make me so happy. So yeah, definitely love those from Glamlite. Cannot wait to see what they're gonna come out with this year. Okay, you guys, in second place is the Unearthly Dead of Night palette. Oh my goodness. I literally squealed when I saw this color story. Are you kidding me? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love blues. I love greens. I love purple eyeshadow. So this is like my version of a neutral palette. I have shades like this in a bunch of my Beauty Bay palettes and things like that, but I still freaking get excited when brands do this color story. And so you guys know I love Unearthly and I'm so excited to have this. And yeah, I just love it so much. And it's in second place because I love it. Okay. Top one palette. Technically it's two. I put these together because they're so good. Again, the Envy palette, it gives me like a little bit of the Wilderness palette from Beauty Bay vibes, but this formula is so good, you guys, and I'm so happy because I've been going back and forth with Ace Beaute. Like, I really liked their Paletopoly palette. Wasn't in love with the Violet Sage palette. Then we got these two and oh my god, they're so pretty. I did an eye look with each of these palettes and I am just so excited to see what Ace Beaute has in store for 2023. I've also tried their Ambiance palette since trying these, and I've tried all of their face palettes and those are really good too. Check out my Ace Beaute playlist if you're wondering about Ace Beaute because I don't feel like they get a ton of hype. But these palettes are so good. Let me show you. I'm just like sitting here. I mean, I know I have these. You probably do too. And these aren't like special shadows like the Adept Minka palette. But the color stories just get me. They just get me. These green blue palettes, They're like my sweatpants when it comes to makeup. I just love wearing green and blue eyeshadow, purple, red, yellow, whatever. I just love colorful makeup. So it's just easy for me to love these, and I love them. They're great. They're amazing if you've been wondering about them. So that is it for my November eyeshadow palette ranking video. I hope it wasn't too painful for you guys. I know it's rough when I talk about old makeup, because even though it's from November of last year, which was literally less than 3 months ago, it still feels like a very painful, torturous process to talk about old makeup. I'm being sarcastic in case you guys couldn't tell. Yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and definitely make sure you're subscribed if you're into ranking videos, and I will see you in another one very soon. Bye!